Now, this hypocritical clown right here, right? I want to talk a little bit more about her podcast with Rich. First of all, he wanted to start it off by making it clear. Oh, so you guys had this mock trial at SHU or SMU? And she said, sure, yeah, we did. But she didn't show any type of proof whatsoever. None. And she can't. And she won't. And she never will. And her reasoning for not showing any type of proof is that some of the participants are afraid of being doxxed. That's what she said. Now, she said they had to reach out to her to do this mock trial, right? And Rich was going to participate in it, but he couldn't sign on to the website, right? To do the mock trial, which was apparently done online, right? But then she goes on to talk about how she wasn't allowed in the room, stuff like that. But Rich was trying to join it online. How do you hold your trial online? There would be evidence of it. She said she's afraid, they're afraid they wouldn't be they don't want to be doxxed, which is the same thing she said when I asked her, about that criminal case that she served as an expert in. Now, under Rich's uh, comment section under this video, people are debating the case down below pretty well. Kitchen table research is saying this, and that. But whenever I asked her a simple question to clarify, she does not answer because she can't. See, it's easier for them to make it look like they're not answering me because I'm a big old bully than they're not answering me because they don't have the answer. That's what she's going to play, this big old bully shit. Big old bully game. When we have clips of you actually bullying Carolyn, we have clips of you actually doing that. Anyways, she's a fucking clown. She's a clown, and Rich should be embarrassed of himself for bringing her up on his panel. But, he says, I know Sully better than any of them. And he admits, he said, at first, I didn't know her that well, but at first he got a very bad impression of her, and he told me so. I think the word trash came out of his mouth. Embarrassed. We'll never have her on my panel. That was his first impression of Sully. Once he got to know her, she's not so much trash now. All right. I'm telling you now, those videos that I have up of Sully on Reddit, they clearly show her saying that she did a true crime case about my son, and that's how she met me. That's how she met me. He is a fucking liar. You notice she didn't mention anything on here about becoming a private investigator, which she posted online. But here's the thing that I really wanted to talk about. Here she's going into some of Barbara Jovel's criminal record, all the way down to traffic offenses. So she had a couple traffic offenses, so we shouldn't believe anything that she said on the stand. What she fails to realize is she keeps on bitching and moaning and griping. I have been publicly doxxed. I have been publicly doxxed. Rich has said her name on his show, Anna Sullivan. But here she fails to realize, and even though we know that she lives in Indiana now, she has mentioned Barbara Jovel's name and posted her personal address on Rich's panel. That's doxing. That is now. It's not an intentional dox. It's the real definition of doxing is when you post someone's address or personal information with intent to cause harm. When I post someone's address, I post it with intent to show that we know where you are and legal action can be taken if you continue your bullshit. You can keep on talking about how you're harassed. We posted, Rich put the video out and posted it, we posted it in the Justice group so that we can go look. Because Rich says it's important to know both sides, so we should be able to go look. There was nothing harassing in that. But to her, that's harassment. Oh my God, they're going to look at this video. They're harassing me. Did you realize that, you doxed Baisha? Now, let me go back here a little bit. Now, these charges I've seen before. She paid for this report from Ben Verified when I've seen it before for free. That's how the extent she's going to go is she's going to show you something that happened 6 years, 7 years after the crime. Now, delivery of controlled substance just means that you have it on you. So here's the thing, though. Sully lets us all know that in her past life, that at 12 years old, she had an addiction to heroin. She claims that she's been off of it, right? She still smokes pot, though. And that's illegal in the state of Texas, as far as I know. So that means you must be a really bad person, right? You must be a really bad person because you're doing something illegal with drugs. Now, what's the difference of an illegal drug that is pot or an illegal drug that is a pill? They're both illegal. Even in the eyes of the Lord, a sin is a sin is a sin. None better, worse than the other. Not obeying your parents and killing someone is still a sin. And they're both sins. So what makes you any better? When you're sitting around smoking your weed, which is nothing wrong with, but you're looking up somebody else's information about their drug use. What did you prove by this? We knew this. Okay? But let me go back a little bit more. Now, she says that Mary Rickles is on the watch list. Now, there's 2 Barbara Jovels, but she did get this one right. Those are her charges. The other one has more charges than that. But they keep on going on and on and on about Barbara Jovel's extensive record. Extensive. She's got a couple drug charges here. Right? And sometimes you can get charged 2 or 3 times for the same thing. My son was charged with 2 counts of murder. He killed 1 person. Think that's what they do, so they stick. But see, you're putting somebody's name out there, right? Remember, you reported my channel for mentioning your name, for saying your name. You felt like that was privacy. You didn't report that for Rich. Your buddy Danelle reported me 16 times in one day. But she doesn't have time. She's very busy. She's got a life, blah, blah, blah. Not only is she showing Mary Angelina Rickles' name, she's also showing her face. It also leads that she lived in the city of Rowlett. Now, if I were to do something like this, they would claim that I was harassing and doxing. Stop, Yumi. They would say that I was harassing and doxing people. Because that's what she's doing, literally. She's literally done worse on this podcast. As far as she's accusing me of publicly harassing, publicly doxing. You've done it yourself. You're doing it right here on Rich's panel. She's putting out her name, her picture, where she lived, her family's names. Now, if you were doing this, to explain your court case, to explain your position, Can Mary Angelina Rickles come back and claim that you're harassing her and publicly doxing her? My dog has a hairball. Did she do that? Or are you a fucking hypocrite? Now, now that I've brought it to the attention of everyone that it's a dox, consider, all I did was say her name in the city she lived in. But Mary Angelina Rickles, her whole family, would probably consider you to be doxing her. Miss Anna Sullivan of Pampa, Texas, married to Steve Sullivan, Father Rick. Oops. Oops. Sorry, Miss Scrimshire. Should we go into your record? What about Steven Sullivan, the one you're married to, Sully Beats, on TikTok, who claims that you've never had a Verizon account, even though I proved you did, caught you on a dating site. That's on Rumble, y'all. That's on my Rumble, my conversation with her and Steve Sullivan, with myself and Steve Sullivan, where he claims that this house that they live in now, that they flipped it and made twice as much money when they're actually fucking living in it. It was a house that was given to them. But, I'm just trying to prove my stance on the case by saying all this information. Right, Miss Sullivan of Pampa, Texas? As a matter of fact, let's take a look. Because apparently putting someone's picture up is not doxing them. According to Mrs. Sullivan, it's okay to talk about Barbara Jovell, show her address and her criminal record. That is that is what doxing is. But just showing a picture, that's okay. I guess apparently. See, I'm pretty. Oops. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Now, this is where they got the house. Gonna play games. But I have her husband telling how he paid so much money for it and how he flipped that house and got a bunch of money. A liar too, just like her. So I'm sorry. Let me just get off of this page real quick. Who is this? And this? Who is this? Who are these people? Do you know? Does anybody know who these people are? I don't. But I guess it's okay to mention people's names and addresses and show their pictures as long as we're making a point for Darlie. Hey, her family has a history of living to a ripe old age. That's cool. That's cool. It's a nice street to just take a stroll down, right? La di da, la di da. Let me just investigate Texas just a little bit here. I'm looking around. I'm just discussing something totally different, but I guess it's just okay to investigate Texas, right? Huh. That's a nice old truck right there. Then I noticed this before when I was looking at that old stove there. Yeah, Elvin had a nice truck. So, let me just go on down this way a little bit more. Now, how did they get this house? They didn't get it through hard work. They got it through someone else's hard work. But her husband tells me that they flipped this house and they made 10 times the amount of money that they put into it. He told me. It's right on my Rumble. And I was just wondering why his wife was on a dating site. That's all. Now back to the stuff she posted on Rich's panel. Wow. According to her standards, she has doxed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6 people. Now she says that I have publicly doxed her, but she can't show anything. I never put her address up. So how's that feel? Do you think that you're harassing Mary Angela Rickles because you're stating your opinion about her? Look what you've done to her family and Barbara Jovell. You're stating your opinion about her. You're harassing her. Look what you've done to her family. Right? Miss Scrimshire? Now put that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. Then talk about everybody else's drug addiction while you got your own. There's something wrong with you.